Space Jam is coming back in the Toon Squad uniform that LeBron James was rocking on the internet yesterday was electric. People hated it. People bashed it. The only problem I have is that his shorts didn't fit his legs. Okay, he is a Nike guy. You see him riding up in the middle, us big thigh people have to worry about that. Aside from that, I love the uniform. I assume Connor's going to be wearing one of these in the office within the next week and a half. And there's a lot of people bashing it, but I think anything that they would have put out, people are going to bash because the original Space Jam is a movie that even people that didn't watch movies as kids watched. What a classic that was. And it's going to be tough to top it if you're Bron. That is going to be a real problem for him. But an entire new generation is going to get to experience Space Jam, and that's all anybody really cares about, I'd assume.
Yeah, people are going to crush those no matter what because they don't like LeBron, but I like them.
Me too.
I think those are pretty good.
You guys both like LeBron, though.
Yeah, well.
I hate LeBron.
No, I remember I came around on LeBron. Remember, I came around on the other way. Like, I started seeing why people hate him because I always viewed him through the eyeballs of a guy that liked him. Okay, so all the hate of him, I'm like, I don't get it. This guy's so good. He never gets in trouble. This guy, I mean, the biggest trouble he got in was he had a Hummer when he was in high school.
Yeah.
That was on 24s. They were This guy has lived up to every single hype and expectation that he's ever had to live up to. And then once I started hanging around people that hate him more, because I kept those people out of my life, by the way, because normally the people that hate him, tend to hate greats.
Bad people.
Pessimistic people normally a little bit. But then, or not pessimistic, they would say realist, but, start picking holes in a lot of things. And I live in the fairy tale world. Yeah, that's good. Let's keep it moving. So once I started hanging around people that hated him and I started seeing why people hate him, I understood why people hate him. They're like, of course here he does this instead of this. In this situation, he says this instead of this. And it's always going to be a comparison to Jordan or whatever, but there's no chance Space Jam can keep up with the old Space Jam. And that, I think, is a fatal flaw by Bron.
Well, yeah, I mean, also, Space Jam had Bill Murray in it. And LeBron, you forgot to mention, received a few Hummers in high school as well. But for me, who's going to be on the Monstars?
Way to go. Way to go.
Who's going to be the Monstars?
Way to go. How hard? Okay, in your head, you actually cut off. Ty was about to say something.
Yeah, was he?
You cut him off just so you could say that.
Blinders are on.
Okay, we get it that you know what a Hummer is.
Yeah. So do the people.
Diggs' family had a Hummer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Diggs' family rolled through that. Coach Diggs had 1.5 miles per gallon on that thing whenever they first came out.
He only went 2 miles to work every day, so he basically filled it up every day there and back.
The Diggs is flexing through the neighborhood, though, and that Hummer was awesome. And I'd assume, by the way, guess what? I'd assume some of the Diggs got some Hummers, too. Oh, there you go, Connor.
They didn't. Do you read into anything where LeBron was afraid to put 23 on the jersey and went back to his Heat 6?
Yes.
Well, I think it was smart, just strictly because now you're going to be judged directly as, are you a better actor than Jordan as well? So I just think it's all. And what if they, by the way, they probably retired that jersey number for the Toon Squad.
Yep.
That's probably in the movie. 23 was probably retired already, right? So he had to come in as 6 or whatever. And remember, whenever he decided to go from 23 to 6, he said, if he won't be the logo, at least we can retire his number. Then something happened. He went right back to 23. He's like, okay, you want to keep talking? All right, here we go. I'll come right back. I like what Bron's doing. I wish he would have created maybe a new movie, a whole new series franchise. But you know how much money that would take? Not that he doesn't have it. But now here you fall into a script that's already basically made for you. You get a chance to maybe test your chops, which we've already seen him on Sprite commercials dominating. And I think the uniform is nice. I think the uniform will sell a bunch to kids, which is all they give a damn about.
I wonder who the evil manager of the Monstars is.
Gary Krause. Going to still be Krause, right? Because it was Krause in the last one.
Yeah, it was Krause.
That was 100% Krause in the last. Oh, maybe it's going to be the Cavaliers owner, the guy that wrote that
Dan
letter.
Gilbert.
But didn't they kind of get back? They kind of.
I don't know. He called LeBron
was...
Benedict Arnold. Yeah. So
was that after he left for the Lakers, or was that before?
That was when he went to Miami.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he came back, and I think they made up potentially.
Well, or maybe not. Championship, so you would think so.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's still one of the greatest parades I've ever seen.
I still think this is going to be better than the original one because the nostalgia is good, but Jordan, terrible actor, horrible acting chops. He's really bad. LeBron is actually pretty good. Trainwreck, he was in that. He was very good in that. Had some comedy chops. He's got his own production studio. I mean, LeBron gets Hollywood. He knows what he's doing.
Plus, he does some great acting on The Shop too. I mean, he really does know.
No, that's all genuine. But the and he was going to sue. Remember when he was going to sue Saban?
Oh yeah.
See, there are some things that he does that people go, There's a lot of things that he does that people potentially go, okay, I hate it for it, but I don't pay attention to this. I just keep it moving. I got my blinders on, so I can just continue to like a guy who's potentially can go down as the greatest of all time whenever it's all said and done. Can't say it now. Got to say it in 20, 30 years, for the people that got a chance to witness Jordan. And when Jordan came in the league, he was a completely different basketball player than they had ever seen before. And I'm learning that from watching The Last Dance, where he was doing things that nobody was doing. So he was the trailblazer, set the tone, changed the game completely, was the greatest, is the greatest, won a bunch of stuff, blah, 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 all that. But now, if that was the first person to do something I had never seen before, and that's my first impression of a guy, I'm obviously going to hold on very tight to the fact that that person is the greatest player of all time. Like, that is something I would do. That's why you hear a lot of people that are older, like, well, there's no chance that LeBron can do it. But if you look at how much better basketball has gotten, and that's why I don't think you can compare the two. But saying that LeBron is going to go down as one of the greatest of all time in the conversation is a factual statement, whether people hate LeBron or not. Like, that is just a factual statement, and people are going to have to deal with that. And I don't want to turn into a sports show as LeBron and Jordan, because after watching The Last Ride, you can't debate the two, because it's two different styles of basketball. Jordan was playing against people that were dribbling basketballs over their head like this, and if somebody did a crossover, it was like, oh my God, did he just dribble with his left hand? Oh my God. I've never seen somebody spin with a ball before. Like, if LeBron was to play back then, he'd probably average Wilt Chamberlain numbers, because, by the way, Wilt Chamberlain was playing against people that had never played against somebody. So I think they're not comparable. But LeBron will go down as one of the greatest of all time. And I hope you're right about Space Jam. But, boy, the sequels never hold up to the original. It just kind of seems like that's an inevitability.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah. I mean, that's true, but I really do. I think it's going to be good. I still don't know which players are in it. I don't think they've really released that yet.
Anthony Davis is in it, but a lot said no.
Foxy, what was happening? I was golfing with Chris. I got a chance to go down to Aaron Rodgers thing, and me and Chris Paul were on the same tee box.
Oh, yeah.
CP3.
What did he say, Foxy? He said that he learned that he said no to Space Jam from a notification.
There was literally breaking news right when we got to the golf course with Chris, and you were like, so Chris, you're going to be in Space Jam. And he's like, man, I didn't even know about Space Jam. He said something like that and literally just had no clue.
He learned about the notification and pop-up about Space Jam. Yeah, Billy Buttcheeks is back there in the corner relaxing, by the way. I don't know if you saw him. Full hangout, full relax session.
Put your pants on, Bill.
But, yeah, Chris Paul, I don't think anybody knows who's in it yet, because I don't even think players know if they're going to be in it or not, or be asked to be in it. I would assume a lot of players, by the way, grew up watching Space Jam, and if they got a chance to be in it, I would assume a lot of guys will say yes to that. I don't know why you wouldn't. It feels like a lot of the NBA like and respect LeBron, too. It's like he speaks a lot for the league, I think. So all the things about, will he be able to get players in there like Jordan was able to? If he sets up that Iron Paradise that The Rock sets up at his gym, where there's a basketball court across the street from where he's shooting, though, and they're just running pickup games, we need to figure out a way to get in there. We need to figure out a way to get in there if that's happening.
And I believe that was his number one stipulation. It was the same thing. It was like, all right, yeah, we'll do this, but you guys are going to build me like a state-of-the-art facility so that I can train and play while we're filming.
How cool would that be able to
awesome.
do? Oh. All right. I'll do it, I guess. How much you paying me? 30, 40 million? Maybe. But I also need, hear me out, I need a 10,000 square foot house that I'm going to sleep in.
Okay.
That needs that 5G Wi-Fi. I need an entire basketball arena, because we might sell tickets to that. And I also need at least 3 to 4 Sprinter vans that are souped up from bolts to nuts to take me from across the street, because I might take each one. And like, you got it, sir. We'll waste $700 million on everything else but the movie, and then we'll wonder why the movie doesn't make money in 2 years from now whenever we do that. Hollywood is wild with their budgeting over there. I like LeBron just deboning them, though. I want this, I want this, I want this. I like the jersey. A lot of people on the internet did not. I like the jersey.